So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar series from Knowledge Woods. Today's topic is how to manage case and use knowledge-based articles using Microsoft Dynamics CRM. It's a 1 hour session. We'll be keeping first 45 minutes for demo and the presentation and the last 15 minutes for the question and answer session. So before we begin, let me introduce myself. Uh, Myself, Dheeraj Gehlot. I have around 10 plus years of experience, and I'm also certified on Dynamics CRM implementation, customization, configuration, and CRM applications. So before we begin, let me give you a brief about what is Dynamics CRM. So Dynamics CRM basically is a tool developed by Microsoft, primarily used for marketing, sales, and service management. So basically, Dynamics CRM provides you a 360-degree view of your customer, all your interaction that you're doing with your customers, with your maybe account, contact, or maybe leads. Everything is recorded in a centralized location, which is Dynamics CRM. So suppose maybe later on, if you want to have a look at that interaction, you can go inside Dynamics CRM and have a look at that. So today's topic is about how to manage, how to create cases and manage services or the customer service scenarios. So Dynamics CRM helps you to cater both B2B and B2C service scenarios, whether it's an organization or it's a company or it's a retail customer. So Dynamics CRM provides you all the options to manage your cases related to your accounts and your contacts. Next is it can address the issues that your customer are facing. So you can create tickets, incident, or cases inside Dynamics CRM, and you can follow steps by step methodology, or you can follow a process which is defined for your organization to resolve a particular case or a particular problem which is faced by a particular person or maybe a customer. You can also make use of cases to apply customer feedbacks, resolve customer queries, or any additional information that is provided by or required by your customer. So cases, if I talk about, are referred to as incident and tickets as well in different organization. In Dynamics CRM, it refers incident or tickets as cases. So you can follow the case resolution process to resolve a case. Then you have something known as subject tree, which is a hierarchical organization of the subjects to classify the cases and at last to fetch reports on the basis of this subject. Then you have something known as knowledge base. Using knowledge base, what you can do is you can define your FAQs, you can define your articles, you can define any information which you want to provide it to your customer. So once you have defined those articles, those information in 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 a table known as articles in Dynamics CRM, that information is readily available to all the service executive, to everyone who has the appropriate rights in Dynamics CRM. And then you can make use of those articles to resolve the cases. Suppose, for example, you have created an article related to how to resolve a particular kind of issue. So your service representative or a service executive, what he can do is he can open a case, then he can browse through the keywords, browse through knowledge base articles on keywords on the basis of the subject tree or on the keywords. Then he can search for the available articles which relates to a particular problem, and then he can make use of that particular article to resolve the case and at last closing the case. Then you have something known as entitlement or contracts. So contracts were used when I talk about Dynamics CRM 2013. 2015, if I talk about, there is a new feature which is known as entitlement. So although contract is also present in 2015, but if I talk about entitlement, it's provide you some additional benefits, such as it provides you to define your SLAs. So when should be the first response sent to the customer? What should be the timeline for that? In what time your case should be resolved? So such additional information is there in entitlement. So if I talk about Dynamics CRM, so if you open Dynamics CRM, it will take you to this screen. So this is the first screen when you log in into Dynamics CRM. So it's showing you a quick window where you can check how to explore Dynamics CRM. So you have a main menu button there. Then you have a shortcut to recent work. So if you are new to Dynamics CRM, so it's providing you a quick help. So how to work on Dynamics CRM. So shortcut to recent work. Then you have add information and activities. Then you have search options. So let me just close this. So you can see I have a search option here. I can make use of quick create to quickly create account, cases, competitors, contact, and leads, opportunity, and other entities. So the good part is this is customizable. If you have created a custom entity, or if you want to reorganize the stuff, you want to hide some entities from here, that can be hidden. So if I click on Dynamics CRM main menu, it will take you to sales, service, and marketing area, as well as the setting area. So since this webinar is around the service module, so I'm clicking on service and then I'm clicking on cases here. So when you click on cases, it will take you to a grid view where you'll be able to see a list of cases depending upon the view which you have chosen as your default view. So if I click on this small drop down icon here, you can see I have a lot of views which are available in Dynamics CRM by default. So I have active cases opened in last 7 days, for example. So I can simply click on that view and it will filter out the cases which are created in the last 7 days. So this will help me to find out my cases. So suppose I want to create a new case. So I have option here, new case, or I can simply click on this plus symbol, quick create, and create a new case from here as well. Other way around is I can go to activities and I can convert an activity into case as well. So for example, let me just go to an activity. So for example, I've received or I've received a phone call and I've added that information in Dynamics CRM. Now I want to convert that phone call activity into a case or a ticket. Simply open that activity, then you have option here, convert to. Click on case. So you have to specify the call from information. So once you have specified that, maybe to define, maybe say, okay, call to, okay, I have to save it and then click on to case. It's asking me to provide a subject. So the subject is related with to the product and click on convert. So once the phone call is converted into a case, it will take to your case screen from where you can work on this case and then follow the process which is defined for resolving this kind of cases, and then you can resolve the case. Second case, suppose I want to create a new case from scratch. So otherwise I can simply click on the case tab here, click on new case. So I can define the case title, for example, customized facing issue with my product, issue with product, maybe say X. I can specify some additional information such as what kind of what is the subject for this, maybe say it's related with product, so I'm selecting product. So next is who is the customer. So suppose if he's the existing customer, I can select it from the list, or if he's a new customer, I can simply click on this, look for, okay, click on look for more records, and I can create a new account or a contact directly from the lookup record box. So once I'm done with that, I can specify the origin of the case, whether it's a phone call. I can define, so if I specified account here, I can specify additional contact, who is the contact person who is contacting me. That information can be specified. And then I can click on save and close or save this case. So this way I can quickly create a case in Dynamics CRM. So depending upon settings which you have done, depending upon if you've created an entitlement, if I've created a SLAs, you have to find the SLAs for a particular subset of customer. You might need to define more settings, more information to this case. So for example, suppose I've defined a entitlement for this customer. So by default, if you scroll down towards the left hand side, you'll be able to see what all entitlement is there in Dynamics CRM for this customer. So you can see you have Adventure Works entitlement here. So if I want to select, if you haven't selected default entitlement, so you can select entitlement from here. So now suppose if I click on save, if I scroll down, I have some additional information related with case, which says case relationship, similar cases which have been resolved, which I can have a look at, merge cases and child cases. Then I have associated knowledge base article, if any, will be listed down here. Then I have enhance SLA details. So since I have set a service level agreement, I've set up the service level agreement in Dynamics CRM. For my instance, I'm able to see some certain figures here. So it says first response should be there in 1 hour, and I have to resolve the case in 1 day. So I can see the numbers decreasing here, which indicates that the first response is due in 1 hour. So best part is I can customize this as per my requirement, my process, my company needs. Then I have certain additional settings here. So type, whether the case type is a question, problem, request, or is it a feedback, that can be defined. So escalated. So currently we haven't escalated it, so status is no. Scroll down, social details. So if someone have posted on your social page, so what you can do is that information can be tracked down here. So what was the social profile link and other stuff. Then you have article and contact information, which can be specified if you want to say associate or search for an article, which will be using which you'll be able to resolve this case. Simply click on this. Say the customer is facing, he's using a laptop on which we're facing a boot issue. The system is not booting up. You can search for the knowledge base articles. So I will be able to see, I'm able to see one article which relates with the issue which the customer is facing. So click on add. If I want to have a look at that article, I have this option here, show article. So I'll be able to see that article here, right from the case window. Now suppose I want to send this article to the customer, I have option to do that also. So directly I can click on email article and I'll be able to send that article directly to the customer from here. There you go. Fine. Additionally, if you've defined some contact information, so that information can be attached to this case from here. So this was a brief about what options do we have or what fields do we have in cases. Then we have the social pane or the activity pane. So post, if you have certain posts related with this case, that will be listed down here. Then your activities, so phone call activities, then tasks, appointment, each and everything will be listed down here. Then you have knowledge base records, and then you have additional notes here. So if you add notes, say additional, maybe say you've asked your customer to drop you a pic or maybe a picture of the issue which he is facing on um, his system. Then you'll be able to attach that image as well. So next is you have added all the information which relates to this particular case. You have collected all the information from the customer. Next step is follow the process to resolve the case. So you can see the screen here which says identify. Then you have research and resolve. So this is a default process which have been defined in Dynamics CRM. If you want to modify it, it's up to you to modify it. So Dynamics CRM provide you option to modify the process. So first find the customer. So when you're creating a case, first step is you need to find the customer who wants to open up a case. Then if this is an account, then find the contact. Who is the person with who is trying to open up this particular case? Who is the contact person? So that can be listed down here. Once you're done with this stage or this step, next is research. So it says find similar cases which have been resolved, which can help the service representative to identify the reason and take necessary action and then resolve a case. So you can search for the cases which are resolved, which have similar subject line. Then suppose if you want to escalate to some other person, you can assign it from here, or either you can apply the routing rule, or you can assign it to some other team or person, or maybe based upon if you have created a workflow, maybe based upon the condition defined, these cases can be automatically routed to a queue or to a particular person, particular team. So next is child cases. So sometimes you might require to create sub cases. For example, suppose you've received a case, a customer is facing some problem with the product, and you want to allocate some tasks to different department. One way is you can create multiple tasks. Other ways you can create child cases and assign those child cases to different departments. Other way around is many of your customers are facing same issue. So instead of creating a separate case for each and every customer, what you can do is you can create similar cases. Say suppose for example your site is down, the customer is not able to log in into the customer portal. So you can create a master case and then you can create a child cases for individual customers. So again, depending upon the settings which you have done, so by default you can uh, close both parent and child case independently. But again, if you want, you can change the setting. So first you have to close all the child case, only then parent case would be resolved. So that kind of setting can be done. Then typical case life cycle. First a case is opened, then it's assigned to a service representative or a queue depending upon the workflow you have defined, or you can assign it manually as well. So after then you work upon a particular case, you communicate with the customer, provide resolution, and then you proceed to resolve the case. Now suppose after resolving, customer comes back to you again and says he's still facing the issue. What you can do is you can reopen the case. and then the case is again assigned to the person who have last resolved it, who was the owner, and then he can again work on that particular case and resolve it again. So this is the case process which is there in Dynamics CRM by default. So you can, under identify, you have steps: find customer, find contact, find cases. Then you have stage 2 research, where you find similar cases, assign to others, and the third stage is close stage, in which you resolve your case. As per your business requirement, if you want to add certain steps here, you want to collect some more information, you want to apply some different process to resolve the cases, you can do it from here. So you can define your own process, you can customize the process, and then you can make your service representative to follow that particular process. So let me go back to the dynamic CRM screen. So you can see I've created a new case here. So on the right hand side, you can see I have certain entitlements here. So adventure work entitlement and remaining item is 99. Now suppose I resolve this case. So I have to provide a resolution here, and additional remarks which I want to display here can be keyed in here. So now if you look at the entitlements, it's now 98. So that's the beauty of working with the entitlement, depending upon the condition which you have defined. So in my case, I've defined that whenever a case is resolved, treat it as one incident or one case is done. So that means automatically from the allocations which you have, from the entitlement which you have, it will automatically reduce the number of cases. So again, depending upon what kind of entitlement you have defined, whether it's on the basis of hours or on the basis of number of cases, it will reduce down the number. So next is knowledge base. So as discussed earlier, so it provides a central repository of all your organization information, be it article, be it the FAQs, be it any information which you want to provide, or anything, any information which can help you to resolve a case, any information which can be a FAQ. So you can define that in the knowledge base article. So again, that is located centrally in Dynamics CRM. So that means if you have modified that, that means that modified information or updated information is available to each and every person. So next we have a knowledge base life cycle. So once you have created an article, by default it's in the draft stage. So the person who has created an article based upon a KB article template have to submit it for approval. And someone with the appropriate right will have to approve it. So once approved, that articles get published, and only then he will be able to use that article to resolve cases. So only the published article will be available in searches. So suppose now again I found to revise that article, I can unpublish the article. Again, it will be in submitted stage. Someone with the appropriate rights can modify that and again have to submit it for approval. So how to define a knowledge base article? So click on service here. You can see you have articles entity here. You can simply click on articles. click on new to create a new article. So when you click on new, you have to choose from the available templates. So again, if you want to create a new template, a new KB article template that can be created. So since I've created, I have to choose from the available templates here, click on OK. So I have to specify a title, maybe say product not working. Specify a subject here. I can specify the keyword or anything. I can specify additional keywords here. Then I can specify the question. How does the product so answer is again, oh, you can specify um, so whatever information that you want to specify, you can specify here. 5 done. Additional comments, maybe say if you want to specify some URL here, external URL that can be specified here, which has more information related to this question. .com and click on save. Fine. So next step is you have to submit it for approval. So suppose I'm manager of this person and I have rights to approve the article. I will be able to approve or reject. So let's suppose this time I want to approve this article. Click on approve and I'm done. So again the status is published now. Now I'll be able to use this article in my searches. So there are multiple ways from which I can search from inside the articles. One way is I can directly open a case. So I can go to service, click on case, open a new case or an existing case, for example. Scroll down, I have articles and contact information section. Select that. Okay, it already has a knowledge base article defined for that. If I want to search for additional article, maybe say that article is not able to resolve my case, I can do a subject browse, click on a particular node of tree, node of the subject tree, and I'll be able to look for more articles here. Or I can do a keyword search, I can do a full text search, title search, article number search, or the subject browse. So let me select this, the other article this time, product not working, click on add, and that product for not working will be listed down here. Now I can make use of this article to resolve the issue which the customer is facing. So this way I can make use of the knowledge base articles. So next is suppose being a manager, I want to, or being a service representative, I want to track how many cases are open, how many cases are resolved. One way is I can make use of the views which are available by default. So maybe active cases open in last 7 days. I will be having a list of the active cases which have been open in last 7 days. All cases, which lists on all the resolved cases as well as the open cases. Then I have cases open in last 7 days, cases resolved by me in last 7 days. So I have different views which I can make use of. Other way around is I have certain reports related with case management or incident management, which are there in the reports entity or the reports link here. So again, if I want to filter down only the service report, I can select the service report view here. And then you can see you have case summary table. So if I click on the case summary table, let me clear the filters. So here you go. So you can see in progress, you have 28 cases, problem solved, 11 cases are there, cancelled, 1 case is there. So in Dynamics CRM, you have a total of 40 cases, 70% cases are still open, 27 have been resolved, and 2.5% are cancelled. Now suppose I want to use different horizontal grouping and the vertical grouping. So I can select my field here. So suppose I want to make a horizontal grouping on the basis of customer and vertical grouping on the basis of maybe say priority. So click on view report. So it will provide you a different report altogether. So now account wise it is customer wise providing you a report on the basis of priority. So high priority, low priority and normal priority. Again say maybe say I want to keep it on the basis of honor. First I want to keep it as priority, then maybe as the case type, click on view. So using this report, what I can do is I can slice and dice with my data, what is available in Dynamics CRM. Other reports which I have is neglected cases. So again, click on run report. So I'll be able to see the number of cases which have remained neglected since the number of days. So minimum days neglected. I can define the value here, for example, 10, and click on view report. So I will be able to list down all the cases which have not been modified, not been worked upon in the last 10 days. The best part is the reports which we have here in Dynamics CRM are drill down reports. So I can click on a particular section on the report and it will open up the underlying records using which the graph is shown. So individually, I can look at each and every record here, a case record here, and identify the reason why it has not been resolved within the provided SLA. Next is top knowledge base articles. So I will be able to list down the articles here which have been used to resolve cases. So what are top 10 knowledge base articles which have been used? So that report I can fetch it from here. Next is again I have certain dashboard related with the surveys. So I have customer service manager dashboard, customer service operations dashboard, customer service performance dashboard, representative dashboard which are related with the customer service or the cases. Then I have customer service representative social dashboard also. So let's just browse it through one by one. So active cases by agent, cases by SLA status over week. Then I have cases mixed by priority. So how many cases which are still open and which are have a priority of high. How many cases with low priority are still open? How many cases with normal priority are still open? Entitlement expiration and other stuff. Next is operations dashboard. So service leaderboard, cases by origin. So how many cases do we have in Dynamics CRM which have been originated by phone call, from email, from social activity? How many cases per day are resolved? Whose priority is high? Service representative dashboard. Cases by mix, my active cases, cases by priority, case resolution trend by day. So is it increasing or it is decreasing? So I can generate a trend from that. Goal progress. So again, how to work with goals will be covering in a separate webinar. But again, for service representative, we can define a goal. That means you can define a target that you have to resolve, say 400 number of cases per month, maybe in a fortnight, maybe weekly. So that kind of targets can be defined in Dynamics CRM as well. And then you can keep track of the targets using the goal in Dynamics CRM. So next is the best practice using Dynamics CRM when you're using Dynamics CRM for the service management. So basically it's your requirement, it's your tool, you're spending the money for that. What you can do is customize it as per your requirement. So whatever process that you want to follow to resolve the cases, that you can customize it in Dynamics CRM. You can define your own process. You can customize the entity. You can define new fields. Suppose if you want to define some additional information, you want to keep track of some additional information from the customer side, maybe from your side, you can define a new, or you can create a new field. You can define the relationship between the new entities. You can define new tables. You can define new business rules. You can customize, you can make use of JavaScript, or you can either make use of the business rules. So how a particular field should behave, that can be controlled using business rule. You can make some fields mandatory, recommended, and other stuff. If you want to automate things, you can define the SLAs, you can define the entitlement, you can create your own workflows related with a particular department, a particular process, you can create dialogues, other stuff. Even you can customize the form interface, the graphical user interface. The case form can be customized. You can define goals, and then you can make use of reports, dashboards to keep track on your progress as well as your team progress. So next is the question session. I have some questions with me. Okay, so what all does Dynamics CRM integrate to? For example, I see the origin tab. There is email, web, phone. Yes, so by default, if I talk about the Dynamics CRM online, so it's by default integrated with Office 365. It gets integrated with web. It can be integrated with phone call. But again, if you want to, again, you have, if you're using Dynamics CRM online, you have option to integrate it with the Facebook, Twitter as well. If you're using on-premise, then again, you might have to do some coding, or maybe you have to use some third-party tools to get this integration done. So suppose if you want to do a VoIP integration, yes, for the I have different options available to do VoIP integration. So by default, if I'm using Dynamics CRM online, I have Skype for Business integrated with Dynamics CRM, which I can make use of. So any other question? So any question? Okay. So if I go back to my Dynamics CRM screen, click on Settings, I have option here for service management. If I click on that, it will take me to the settings section where I can make some changes or do some settings related with the service management. So from here, I can define my service level agreement. I can define my entitlements, holiday schedule on which I will not be providing any case or ticket support, service configuration setting, and customer service schedule. For example, I can provide different subset of services for different type of customer. For example, for gold customer, I want to provide 24 cross 7 support. For silver level, I want to provide weekday support, maybe from 9 to 6. So that are things can be defined here. Maybe it's a silver this time. Create, then define. I can set the hours. So default is 8 to 5. Let me keep it 8 to 5 itself. And then click on save and close. So this way I can define my customer service calendars. And when I define my SLAs or the entitlements, I can make use of this information. So if I open SLA, let me just open existing SLA. So which I've created for my corporate customers. So you can see the name is corporate customers, applicable form when a case is created on business art. I haven't specified that. SLA type is enhanced. Allow pause and resume is allowed. So that means if I want to pause in between, I have to put my case. I want to put my case on hold, and I don't want to decrease the time remaining for the first response or maybe the resolve time, case resolution time. Then in that case, if it is allowed, if my SLA allows me to do that, I will be able to stop the counter. Next is I've defined the SLA item detail for the first response, which says failure after 1 hour. That means I have to send first response within 1 hour. I will get a warning in 30 minutes. Next is I have to resolve this case by within 1 day, and I will get a warning after 8 hours. So this way I can create my own SLA. Next is entitlement. So how many cases or how many hours of support a person is entitled to, that can be defined in the entitlement. So you can define name, who is the primary customer for which you want to create this entitlement, start date, finish date, restriction based on entitlement terms, yes, no, SLA, honor, description, allocation type, whether it's number of cases or number of hours. So you can define that information. Decrease remaining on case resolution or case creation. So you can define a lot of settings. So how to work with entitlements and SLAs will be having a separate webinar for that in which you can participate. So any other question? So any more question? Okay. So if in case later on if you have any question, you can drop me an email at dheeraj@knowledgeworks.com and info@knowledgeworks.com, or you can visit knowledgeworks.com and provide your and provide whatever queries you have. We will be able to answer those. So with that, I end this session, and I hope everyone of you have enjoyed it. At the end of session, we will be taken to a feedback screen. Please do provide the feedback related to this session. We also have some upcoming webinars in case you are interested in. Till then, goodbye. Thanks for your participation. Bye bye.